certainly the directions I would like it to go, and there's the directions which sometimes I'm afraid it's going. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see a lot of student choice. One of the things I've found as an instructor in a career and technical center is that students' learning increases directly proportional to their investment or their interest in what they're learning.
I think education will be more organized, and I think teachers will be able to explain the content easier so students can understand it better.
With teachers going to classes more instead of just like teaching what they know from when they went to college. I think they're going to start learning more as we're learning too.
Education is good, and education can be bad. Education is good in the fact that it helps you learn. Education can be bad though if you're learning too many things at the same time and you mix them all together and your brain gets so confused. I've had times where I've sat in my room, I'm going to be an honest man, I've had times I sat in my room and I was crying because I couldn't figure out this math problem, and I was so frustrated, and my parents were like, well, dude, are you all right? And I'm like, I know, it's so frustrating, I can't understand it.
And I have to question the validity of some of those things which we're asking students to do. What do students actually need to succeed? We have a curriculum which is teaching students skills which would be fantastic if they're going to go off and literally be a rocket scientist, but yet they're still not, really mastering some more fundamental skills which they might actually need in their life. I think sometimes there's a pushback. I think sometimes academics go, well, you're dumbing down the curriculum. You're making the curriculum appropriate for what the students actually need to know how to do. Students should have a lot more say in what their future is.
I think the future education is becoming more paper, It's now becoming more of a technology.
I think they'll try to use more electronic devices to teach, but I think when it comes down to it, they'll use more paper.
To help us achieve our educational goals, we just have to make sure that we're setting those goals before we look at the technology. One of the quotes I like is that technology is supposed to be the servant, not the master. We need to make sure we're using technology and not the other way around.
As technology advances, we have to advance with it.
It's good to have history, math, science learning.
Just sports, music, theater, whatever a student wants to do will be good for their education, because a lot of the times you have to have good grades in order to participate in whatever activity you want. And I think it helps them keep focused if it's something that they really want.
They're still not, really mastering some more fundamental skills which they might actually need in their life. I think sometimes there's a pushback. I think sometimes academics go, well, you're dumbing down the curriculum. You're making the curriculum appropriate for what the students actually need to know how to do.
I think education is going to be a little more organized with teachers going to classes more instead of